Hey, what's up, guys? It's Russo, and it is officially March. We've got somewhat of a small NBA slate today, just 6 games, but I honestly, for whatever reason, my hit rate tends to be a little bit better on these slates that aren't 12, 13 games. I don't think that there's a particular reason for it, but it's got me more optimistic. And actually, with the smaller slates, it's a little bit easier for me to track the games as well. A lot less bouncing around between different games that are going on. But I am excited about today. And so I've got 4 plays. Let's talk about yesterday real quick. So, I think I would still take these plays. They came close. We weren't that far from a sweep. One in particular has me a little confused. But so Toumani Camara, we took him over 26.5 fantasy score. He went for 29.6. He had a solid game. He kind of never really had a point where he had me sweating. OG Anunoby, same thing. Took him over 28.5 fantasy score right out of the gates. He was right on track. I don't know if you guys do this, but a lot of times I'm constantly gauging. This is pretty simple, but I'll look at the scoring, and if I'm halfway there by halftime, I'm optimistic. If I'm ahead of that by halftime, I'm really optimistic. So both of these players had me in that ballpark of feeling really good about these plays as they opened up. And then I'm going to talk about Kawhi Leonard for a minute. He came really close, 35.5 fantasy score, went for 34.3. Unfortunately, did not get it done. Close game though. But Day'Ron Sharpe, this is what confuses me. So I get it. So Nick Claxton was out when they played against the Thunder, and Day'Ron Sharpe got the start. He gets 31 minutes, and this is against Oklahoma City. Keep that in mind. He goes for 25 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, 2 steals, 7-7 from the free throw line. I thought for sure that is just something you can't ignore. We have to get him some more minutes. And then he comes out and he plays 19 minutes in this game against Portland. So I was really thinking that was enough of a statement against a tough team like Oklahoma City to have such a wild outing. It's been a minute since I've seen Claxton do something like that. And I know one game isn't going to just jump, he's not just going to leapfrog up into the starting lineup, but still, 25 minutes, 23 minutes, he played 19 minutes and was averaging almost a fantasy point a minute, 17.9. Just 4 more minutes. I think he could have got it for us. So I still feel good about the reads. 2-2, not what we're looking for. We'll move on. We'll keep going. But I'm always wanting to just check in on the reads and sort of have a little bit of reflection and think would I still take this? And I think that it was still sound. But let's talk about today. I'm going 1 unit flex, 1 unit power for these. Hope you guys are having a good weekend so far. Let's talk about these plays. So to start us off, I'm going to be going with Tari Eason, forward for the Houston Rockets, over 16.5 points, rebounds, and assists against Sacramento. In the same game, we're going to take Zach LaVine, guard for the Sacramento Kings, over 25.5 points, rebounds. And then we're going to go with Desmond Bane. He is coming off he's on a back-to-back, but I really love this matchup for him. So I'm going to roll it. Desmond Bane, guard for shooting guard for the Memphis Grizzlies. Need a little bit more coffee. Excuse me. 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I like this line. And then we're going to go with forward for Philly, Justin Edwards, over 8.5 points, assists. So we'll start breaking all this down. Appreciate you guys tuning in. You don't even understand the mood you guys keep me in with the positivity and the support through, the ups and downs. It means a lot. I can't believe it. I think I'm 15 or 16 subs away from 1,000, and I just thank you guys so much for the support. So speaking of support, if you don't mind liking the video, drop me a comment. If you have any questions about plays, I'll do research with you guys all day. We'll go back and forth in the comments. So if you have a play you're interested in, let me know. I'll hop on Outlier. I'll take a look at it on Daily Grind and help you make a decision here if you're wondering about anything. So, all right. So Tari Eason. This is an expected value play on Outlier. So they're definitely finding some value here. You can see he's really close to cashing this 5 straight. And I'm loving the minutes he's been getting. 30.3 minutes, which he's got a solidified spot with secured minutes. Not that he's like overly productive with these minutes, but I like this line at just 16 and a half, especially in this matchup here, which is actually pretty solid for points. So overall, Sacramento, 21st in points allowed, 7th in rebounds allowed, 21st in assists allowed. Bounce over power forward, it's even softer. 24th in points allowed, tough on rebounds, 2nd in rebounds allowed, and then 18th in assists allowed. So 16 and a half seems totally doable. Let's take a look at this note from Outlier. All right, so he's exceeded 16 and a half points, rebounds, and assists in 6 of his last 7 games versus bottom 10 defenses for points allowed. That's what we were just talking about. He's been really, especially these last 4, with these types of matchups, he's been going off, and the rebounding's been pretty crazy too. But he's averaging 22.6 PRA in these matchups against bottom 10 defenses for points allowed. 86% hit rate over his last 7 matchups. And then if we zoom in here a little bit, like this game against Phoenix, 25 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. And then Memphis, 13 points, 12 rebounds. And then there's Sacramento, 16 points, 4 rebounds. And then another game against Sacramento, 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 assist. So let's take a look at the head-to-head since we kind of just saw some of it. But yeah, both times he's matched up with them this year, he's gotten it done. And really his worst outing, he went for 20 PRA. Didn't have any assists in that game. But the first game that they had this season, he really popped off. And that was just in 25 minutes pretty much in both of those games, averaging about 12.5 attempts from the field and about 4.5 attempts from beyond the arc, shooting 44% from the field, 22% from beyond the arc. So that was not a good outing from beyond the arc, and 15 rebound chances, and then just 1 potential assist. So not really assisting the ball a whole lot, but I'm going to take it because it's just a 1-point bump. But if we talked about that, the minutes at 24 and just under 25, and then we look at these last 5. So he's already cleared it both head-to-heads this year on 25 minutes, and now he's averaging about 30 minutes a game. And this is over this 5-game stretch. If we go out to the last 10, about 28.8 minutes, but we do have a couple of games here where it was kind of trending down, and then it seemed like he got back in rhythm and they were just keeping him in. So we'll go 2024 season. 61% hit rate. Yeah, without tweaking anything. On the 2024 season, he's done this 61% of the time. And then let's just take a look here at when he's been getting. Let's just go 25 minutes. 76% hit rate. Now I went 25 because both head-to-heads, he just happened to play 25 almost exactly. It could be the type of thing where he's earned more minutes as of late, but regardless, maybe it is a matchup thing. Maybe they tend to just be like, hey, against Sacramento, we like this particular rotation. So if that is the case, he's done it every time he's played them, and on 25 minutes and on the whole season, 76% hit rate when he does get those 25 minutes. If he gets a little bit more than that, let's say he does happen to get what he's been getting lately, about 30 minutes. We'll take a look at that. 100% hit rate if he's got 30 minutes, 5 out of 5 games. So it hasn't happened a whole lot, but we know lately he's been getting those kind of minutes. So that's what we're hoping for tonight. Let's take a look at daily grind here. See what this has. Okay, so the PRA is their favorite play, 16 and a half, 53.09% odds hit the over minus 132. I'm going to try to wrap this video up quick so this doesn't go away, because usually if it's at the very top of the DFS optimizer, the markets are going to catch it soon. So they also like the points rebounds at 15 and a half, 52.29% odds hit the over minus 128. They like his points over. They like his points assists over. They like his rebounds over. They're liking everything of his tonight. So feeling good about that to open us up here. All right, Zach LaVine. 4 out of his last 5 games, been getting solid minutes with the Kings, and he's been kind of opening things up offensively. lately. Again, 4 out of his last 5 games. Had this game against Charlotte, 42 points, 3 rebounds. He's not really assisting the ball right now enough for me to want to take the full PRA because it's like a 4-point bump. And if we look at the head-to-heads, he's never had an assist against them. Now, this was with the Bulls, so different type of play here. But yeah, I mean, let's see. So let's look at his minutes in these. So yeah, 33.8 or so 41. You can't really take this average because these are two very different. It's almost half, so 41.2 minutes in the first matchup. And he beat that, 25 points, 13 rebounds. And then, 26.3 minutes in an absolute blowout, 143 to 107. That's, obviously why he didn't get his full minutes. And he went for, he was 6 PR away from hitting it. I'm sorry, let me actually, just to make sure I got that right about the PRA. Okay, so that's my bad. I think I'm thinking of another player. So sorry here, I do actually need some more coffee. Okay. So yeah, the 4-point bump. So that's my bad. So he did in that game that he went off, the first matchup, he had 7 assists, and then the most recent matchup, he only had 1 assist. So you could take the full PRA if you want, but I'm feeling more comfortable with just the points rebounds. That's my bad. Had a little mistake there. Let's look at this note. Actually, let's go. So yeah, honestly, the more I look at it, I like them both, but I've already got the points rebounds locked in, so I'm going to be sticking with that. But yeah, so let's look at this note here from Outlier. He's exceeded 25.5 points rebounds in 11 of his last 12 games on the road. So on the road, he's averaging 32.1 PR, 92% hit rate. And I think that's the same note for the assists as well. So let's look at his last 5 once again. And I'm just going to take a look at these assists. So yeah, these last 3 games, I think that may have been what was kind of a little bit of a deciding factor. Plus, the regular assist line is at 3.5, and we're getting the full 4-point bump for the PRA, if I'm not mistaken. Let's look at it one more time. Yeah, 29.5, and then the points rebounds 25.5. So you're not getting, they're kind of penalizing you, saying like, okay, you can attach the assists, but you have to have the full 4 flat. You don't get just a 3.5-point bump. So I'm feeling good about the points rebounds here. So averaging 36.5 minutes a game right now, just 1 foul, 54% from the field, 17.4 attempts a game, 9.4 made buckets a game right now. Shooting great from beyond the arc, 48%, averaging 8.8 attempts and 4.2 made threes a game right now. That is wild. That's great. Yeah, he shot 50% against Utah. Against Charlotte, he went 8 of 9. Yeah, 89% from beyond the arc. I love to see it. It has been a little bit of a question mark over the years. We know the upside, we know the talent, but he's dealt in and out of injury situations. Is he going to stay in Chicago? What's going on? And I think that this is a nice landing spot for him. So let's take a look here. Yeah, back with DeRozan and the boys. So the matchup, obviously, Houston's pretty tough. They are 5th in points allowed, 7th in rebounds allowed. If we bounce over to the shooting guard position, it really softens up. 18th in points allowed, 22nd in rebounds allowed. So everything about this matchup is looking solid, in my opinion. Again, he's averaging 36.5 minutes a game right now, 6.2 rebound chances. So if he's averaging 36.5, let's look at the 2024 season. On the 2024 season, without tweaking anything, he's at a 63% hit rate, 32 out of 51 games. Let's tweak these minutes for a minute. So we said 36-ish. So let's just start with, just in case it's not that kind of a game, let's just see 30. You gonna get there for me? There we go, 30. So, yeah, it doesn't really bump up that much if he's just getting the 30, but still 67% hit rate. Let's see, 35 minutes like he's been getting. Does that make a difference? Yeah, 79% hit rate when he's getting 35 minutes on the 2024 season. 15 out of 19 games, he's cleared it. And 3 of these misses, he really wasn't that far off. A couple more buckets could have easily made this like 18 of 19. So yeah, we like the matchup. We like the minutes. We like, what we've seen with the head-to-head. Looks like if he would have, the only time he played them and got those 35 minutes, he popped off for 38 points, rebounds. So let's take a look here at Daily Grind and see what they're thinking. Excuse me, I need a little more cold brew. Not feeling it. They don't like the PR at 25.5, 51.42% odds to hit the under -124. So go with your gut. It's basically recognizing that there's not really a value here on Prizepicks compared to other platforms because everyone has it at 25.5. Caesars has this at about a 50-50 shot. There's not a lot of juice on these for most of the platforms for the under. And then they don't like his points either. 51.28% odds to hit the under. They like his assists over 4. The thing I didn't like, so that did get bumped up to 4 entirely. So yeah, 50.93% odds hit the over -121. But they're more on his unders. They don't like the PRA either. They like the rebounds and assists. And they just barely like the points assists at 25.5, but not the points rebounds at 25.5. I just have a question. Like, what do you think he's more likely to do? Get more rebounds or more assists in this game? He had 12 last time he played. He had 12 rebounds last time he played 35 minutes against them with Chicago. But so let's see. We'll see how it goes. I feel good about it though. All right. So Bane. Yeah, this is somewhat of a high line. 32.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He's only done it 44% of the time on the 2024 season. But he's on the back half here. He's really started to put things together, and he's turned into like this crazy rebounder. I've talked about it many times when we take his plays, but let's look at these last 5. So three out of his last 5, he's cleared this. And talking about rebounds, he just played against New York, and this little shooting guard popped off for 12 rebounds, 24 points, 4 assists in a tough matchup, you know? So overall, this matchup is soft, and we know that there's no Wemby. So 19th in points allowed, 28th in rebounds allowed, 14th in assists allowed. If we bump over to the shooting guard position, 11th in points allowed, 24th in rebounds allowed, 15th in assists allowed. Let's look at the head-to-head. So yeah, last time he played them, he went for 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 14 assists. This dude is just very capable. He's capable of just randomly going into double-digit rebounds and randomly going into double-digit assists. I love it, but he's also a solid scorer. Like, I'm a really big fan of this dude, and I've said it many times, but I don't know how he does it. He's got these tiny little arms, and he's just an absolute baller, and just like... So anyways, yeah, he has cleared this PRA line over the 32.5, 7 out of his last 10 games. Over this stretch, when he gets this done, he's averaging 35.8 minutes, 15.8 attempts from the field, 47% over the last 10 games, 34% from beyond the arc. We know that, I mean, he's better than that. He's definitely capable of getting hot from beyond the arc. So that's definitely going to be affected by like this game here against Cleveland. He was 0-7 in his most recent outing against New York, 0-4. So those are going to tank your percentages. But yeah, he's got this game here against the Clippers where he shot 55% from beyond the arc, 6 made threes. So I don't expect this to be like a massive part of his game, but even with these 2 goose eggs, he's still averaging 2 made threes a game over his last 10 games, 13.1 rebound chances, 9.9 potential assists. So yeah, he can facilitate, he can do it all. So we said 35.8 minutes. Let's take a look at this 2024 season again. And we are gonna see if things change when he gets up to those 35 minutes like he's been averaging over the last 10. See if that tells a little bit of the story of that 44%. And it absolutely does. 75% hit rate when he's getting those 35 minutes. Now he's on a back-to-back, so I'm not saying he's going to get 35 minutes tonight. 9 out of 12 games. We got 1 game here against Phoenix where 1 more of any stat would have put him over the line, and that would have been 10 out of his last 12. But let's go ahead and see back-to-backs. So in general, let's take the minutes dial off. So if we look at his back-to-backs, honestly, when I look at this trend, you know, miss, hit, it's just, you know, a perfect pattern here. This doesn't mean that the next one is going to be green, although that would make sense with the pattern. But to me, this tells the story of when they're giving him the minutes, I would guess. Let's take a look. Yeah, so 28, 35, 32, 35, 28, 36, and then 36. So this last game against Orlando is the only game where he got the minutes and didn't hit it. Other than that, if he's getting those 35 minutes, he's good to go. Let's go back to 2024 and let's just see what we might be looking at if he doesn't get those minutes. Let's say 30 minutes on the 2024 season. 59% hit rate, still more than half the time. I'm willing to just take a chance on this, and they're playing at home. Speaking of at home, one last thing. I just start to have too much fun, like looking at all these different angles. So let's look at his home games real quick. 50% hit rate at home, 12 out of 24 games. And then let's see about how many. Actually, no, let's do this. I swear I won't take forever. I just love looking at all these different angles. So let's look at his back-to-backs at home. And I'm curious about the minutes. Okay, so he has 128, 135, 128. So is he due for that next home game, 35? That's what we're hoping for here. He's very capable of getting this done even in lower minutes, but what we're really hoping for is that he's getting at least that 30 minutes tonight, which I think we can count on. This is a very high over-under, 244.5. So 9-point spread. If the Grizzlies really start to run away with this, which is in the realm of possibilities, obviously, then maybe we don't see those full minutes. But hopefully, if that is the case, he's part of the reason that they got that big lead. And before we move on to the last play, let's just look at the injury report. Gigi Jackson, game time decision. Yeah, nothing really significant. Charles Bassey out, Wembanyama out. So one thing that you might want to consider is maybe this is the type of situation with Wembanyama out, with Bassey out. Maybe it's the type of thing where Jaren Jackson Jr. is just going to kind of be a closer, and they're going to just keep giving him the ball and letting him go one-on-one with their third string, center. But maybe that can just help with Bane's assists there. So I'm riding it. You guys don't have to. Let's see what Daily Grind thinks. Okay, they like his points, rebounds over. They're not feeling the PRA. It's just barely favored to the under. 50.61% odds hit the under, minus 120. But we don't have anyone bumping down to 31.5. We also have some mixed feelings. Actually, let's see. Pinnacle actually slightly favors the over. DraftKings has it at 50-50 shot. BetMGM, heavy juice to the under, minus 130. And then Caesars slightly favoring the over, just based off of the odds there. So they do like his rebounds over 6. That does look great. I mean, like I said, he can easily get that done. So I don't blame you if you're like, hey, let's just roll rebounds at 6. But I think he's, I feel like he's really in the zone right now. He went through a little bit of a drought, and let's go off the back-to-backs. Yeah, went through a little bit of a drought here and has been popping off again. So I feel like he's going to have a decent game. But I mean, yeah, 28th in rebounds allowed. So if you're uncomfortable with it, just take the rebounds at 6. If you want, go with your gut. You don't have to take this play at all if you don't want to. So let's wrap it up. Justin Edwards. So without tweaking anything, 54% hit rate, 14 out of 26 games. And the minutes are a big deal here. So you can see what his minutes were to start. And then as we got to, in my opinion, the part of the season where it's like, what's going on with Embiid? Like all of a sudden Embiid's out, Drummond's out, and they don't play the same position, but that does affect rotations. He's a small forward. But if we look at this, 2024, so what do we say, 54% hit rate. Now let's talk about the guys who are out. Eric Gordon out. That affects the rotation. We're already bumped up to, when Eric Gordon's out, he's hit this 80% of the time, and then one more bucket or assist would have cashed it. Let's see who else might make a difference here. What happened when Jared McCain went out? So little bump there, up to 58% when McCain was out. Embiid. So I think the main thing here is Jared McCain and then Eric Gordon. So yeah, with this current roster with no Embiid, McCain, or Gordon, That's only 3 game sample size, but here's what we really need to look at. So we're going to go back to 2024. So all these better minutes here, but 24 minutes a game, because that's not a good representation because of all of these low games to start. So let's just see what it's looked like. So what has he been getting lately? Sorry, I promise I'll wrap this up quick. Eric Gordon, McCain, Embiid out. What are his minutes? So in those 3 games, averaging 34.5, but there's one spike game where he had 44 minutes. So it's hard to say. Let's just call it 30. So we're going to go back to the 2024 season, where he's already more than half the time, but let's just see what 25 minutes look like. All right, so 77% hit rate, 10 out of 13 games if he's got at least 25 minutes. If he does get up to that 30 mark, let's see what that looks like. 86% hit rate, and then this game, one more bucket would have cashed it. So almost a perfect 100% hit rate over a 7-game sample size when he's getting 30 minutes on the 2024 season, points, assists. So let's talk briefly about the matchup. Overall, Golden State is tough on defense, 8th in points allowed, 9th in assists allowed. Let's go over to the small forward position. And it's just about as tough, a little softer on assists, 8th in points allowed, 10th in assists allowed. Let's look at his head-to-head. Take the minutes situation off. So he only played them once. He still went for 4 points and 1 assist, and he played 9 minutes. So you do the math. He cashes if he gets 15 minutes. He cashes if he gets 18, 19 minutes, based off of the trajectory he was on. He had 5 shot attempts in 9 minutes, shot 40%. He took 3 shots from beyond the arc. So he took 3 threes, missed all of them, and then put in 2 buckets. That makes sense for the 4 points. And then he was able to dish out 1 assist, but that's 9 minutes. So I think that he should be looking at I mean, with their situation, 25 minutes still looks solid to me. I'll wrap it up, but we'll take one last glance at that. So 25 minutes, 80% hit rate, 4 out of 5 games. And let's see, let's back that down a little bit. That's because it was on his last 5. My bad. Let's revisit the 25 real fast. Thanks for hanging, guys. I know that I start to go on a little run here when I'm getting into my details, but okay, so at least 25 minutes, that's the 77% hit rate, 10 out of 13 games. 2 of those games, 1 more bucket would have made it 12 out of 13 games. So I feel good about it. I think that this is a really low line, 8.5 points and assists. Let's take a look at daily grind. They like all of his stuff. They like his points, rebounds over 10.5. They have it at a 52.03% odds to hit the over minus 129. Points, assists, 51.53% odds to hit the over minus 127. Caesars has this at a minus 137 if you want to take this over. So couple minus 130s. So yeah, they're already saying like, hey, this is a little more likely to happen. So you're not going to get a full payout if you take this play. But that's the nice thing about Prizepicks. We have, fixed odds. So that's what we look for. We look for heavy juice, and we're getting it without any sort of penalty, unless it's so dramatic that they just turn it into a goblin. But yeah, in this case, I'm loving this. They also like his full PRA. I'd rather take this points assist personally at 8.5 than the full PRA at 12.5. That's just me, but there are pivots if you guys want points, rebounds, points, assists, and then points, rebounds, and assists. So go with your gut. If you guys want to check out this optimizer from Daily Grind, it's so fun. It's an awesome app. And it really it not only does it help you figure out, okay, like I like Justin Edwards because these lines are all low. So I just type him in and it's like, okay, so what is this optimizer thinking the best value is on plays available? And you can make your decision from there. It's like, I still prefer the points assist, but yeah, points, rebounds, 10.5. It just puts options right in front of you. You can make quick decisions and look at what other odds makers are judging. Caesars has the points rebounds juiced even more at -142. So maybe that's the one you want to take. I'm here to show you everything. So I'll tell you what I'm taking. I'll show you some options if you don't want to take what I'm taking. But if you don't have anyone in the search field, they do that same thing for the whole NBA. So their favorite play right now is Draymond Green over 15.5 points rebounds. 53.99% odds hit the over -138. They like a few unders. Another over they like is LaMelo Ball over 7 assists, 53.47% odds to hit the over. And what they're doing is, it's comparing like the line you're getting, and then it's scanning all the platforms and seeing if it's a value. And like in this case, the under, they're just seeing the Zach Edey points. They're seeing that all these platforms are heavily favoring this to the under, and they're saying, hey, this is over here. You get the full value for it on Prizepicks, and all of these platforms have a lot of juice to the under, so you're not getting penalized by the odds. So go take this. That's kind of how the optimizer works. It's really fun, and you can do this for all these different, settings. Women's, NCAA, Major League Baseball, men's basketball, NHL, UFC, like PGA. So yeah, sometimes you're looking at sports that you are unfamiliar with, but if you want to have a little bit of fun with it, just go on DG and see what they've got, so yeah, code BACKDOOR at dgfantasy.com gets you 25% off. Just throw in the code. You can lock that savings in for as long as you want, all the way up to a year. And then if you want to check out Outlier, I love this app because I love getting into all these details. It's my favorite thing, tweaking the minutes, taking players in and out of the equation, looking at head-to-head matchups. Like, I could do this all day. And then all these different statistical categories, all these specific positional matchups, up-to-date injury reports, and the insights tab. Speaking of which, Jimmy Butler is a game time decision tonight. So that would be good for our boy Justin if he ends up missing this game, because that's probably, that's positionally like who he's probably going to be matched up against. But Jimmy might be on, Maxey or something like that. So yeah, then you have all these insights here. They're just putting stuff on your radar. Whenever I, go over to this little light bulb and I read you guys what Outlier's saying about it, they put all of those right here. Things that they're like, hey, by the way, Draymond Green he's failed to exceed 12.5 rebounds and assists in 7 of his last 9 games, averaging 11.4. So like, it can quickly put stuff on your radar, kind of like daily grind, but this is based off of stats instead of odds. So it's a lot of fun. Both of these are great. You can try this one out for free. Just sign up through the Outlier link below, and they're going to give you a week just to have some fun with it. And we're really excited to be partnered with them. And they're just so awesome at what they do. And we know that they're going to just keep making this app better and better. So go check it out for a week, see how you like it. But guys, appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to like the video, drop me a comment, and enjoy this slate. I'll be getting some more plays out over at the Backdoor Fantasy Sports channel in a little bit. Gonna hit up Jordy, see what's up, and maybe throw out some more plays. So have a great weekend, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.